In a time where it feels like originality is harder and harder to come by, it makes the avant-garde, the weird, and the overall different all the more enticing. And that's why I've been excited for Pacific Drive ever since it came across my dashboard. And no, I have no idea how many car puns I'm gonna get away with, so buckle up. In this world, arcane and bizarre government experiments have resulted in the American Pacific Northwest being quarantined, now known as the Olympic Exclusion Zone, a place where nothing is what it seems, but you can be pretty sure that most of it wants you dead. And wouldn't luck have it, you've been sucked into the zone with little context, few resources, and very little time to get your bearings and try to survive. So you stumble across a beat-up car, and soon your journey to salvation, understanding the nature of the zone, and keeping the bastard thing running begins. But with an intriguing premise and the promise of ambitious, unique gameplay, will it live up to these lofty expectations? Watch on to find out. So, how would you describe the gameplay? In its most simple, bare-bone terms, it's a roguelike, but in truth, it's so much more. You take your car out on missions deeper and deeper into the open world of the zone, collecting supplies to improve your wheels, unveiling the secrets of this dangerous land, and avoiding succumbing to its numerous threats. You end each mission loop by collecting energy from the anchors stabilizing the area, which allows you to create an exit portal to the safety of your garage. But by destabilizing these anchor points, you cause the order of everything around you to break down, creating a knuckle-whitening race to safety. Then, once you've made it back to the garage, you'll be able to put all the loot you've gathered to use, upgrading and repairing your car before your next loop begins. And boy, you will need to keep it repaired, as it'll take a pounding even if you're a careful driver. I'll talk more about it in a bit, but the realism of the car's handling, degradation, and response to external factors is really impressive, and becomes an integral part of Pacific Drive's challenge and charm. And trust me, this game is a challenge, at least for a scrub like me. If you don't make it out alive, you'll be returned to the garage with a battered, almost undrivable car, and will lose any resources that you gathered on your latest loop. It's a pretty good incentive to get good. There's always that temptation to just go a little bit further before retreating to safety, and this risk versus reward choice keeps things intoxicatingly addictive. So that's a basic rundown of the core gameplay, and before I go on, it's worth saying that it's bloody brilliant. It's that perfect balance of progress and challenge that really scratches my dopamine itch, and makes for one replayable experience. While the first hour or so can be a bit of a mind flip, you'll soon find your feet, or tires, soon enough. And there's a real sense of satisfaction when you look back at how far you've come. The only thing that really takes some getting used to is the UI and the seemingly endless cascading menus. There's so much depth to this game, and like I said, the realism offers enough to sink your teeth into long before you even factor in the supernatural elements. Not only do you need to physically put things in the trunk of your car, manually start the engine, or engage the handbrake, but you'll also need to have a very close inventory on everything you have and need in order to not get stranded. But all this stodginess feels by design and really augments the atmosphere of the game. And this atmosphere is creepy as flip. The fear of the unknown and the hidden threats of the zone looms large over every moment. Every glint of something unusual or eerie sound got my pulse racing, particularly with the danger of your car breaking down at any moment. It really becomes your island of security, and it's utterly terrifying all the time you have to be out of it. And this is where those seemingly clumsy menus and verbose mechanics play their part. It's the closest a game's come to recreating the feeling of fumbling with a set of keys, trying to unlock a door while being chased by a deranged serial killer. It's utterly, palm-sweatingly terrifying without over-reliance on jump scares or cheap shocks. And this is all without looking too deep into the threats of the zone. From rock formations coming out of the ground to strange mannequins scattered over the road, this is just scratching the surface of the things that want to wreck your ride. Throw in changing storm systems that mean you have to adjust your path on the fly, and much like the tension, the challenge never lets up. Put it this way, I don't own an Apple Watch or anything, but I'm pretty sure a heart rate warning would have flashed up while I was playing. I won't go too much into the plot, but I loved the way it revealed itself through the gameplay. While it's ostensibly designed to be a very lonely game, a combination of great voice acting from remote characters, as well as a bevy of awesome license tracks on your car radio, stop the isolation from ever becoming too much. Don't get me wrong, it's a horror game through and through, but it doesn't feel cynical or mean-spirited, and these moments of levity really help. So, Pacific Drive definitely has its influences. There's its roguelike forebears, as well as sims like My Summer Car, which, if you haven't watched Funhouse's gameplay series on, you are really missing out. Please go watch it. And from the world of cinema, it's hard to look further than standouts like Annihilation and The Color Out of Space. But while it clearly owes a lot to what's come before, the strength of Pacific Drive is how it takes these inspirations and makes something that feels fresh, new, and vital. Look, perhaps it's overexcitement or recency bias, but this truly feels like one of the best games I've played in a good long while, and one that I think is destined for cult status. February might be too early to talk about Game of the Year awards, but I'd be very surprised if Pacific Drive isn't in the running. But what did you think of Pacific Drive? Let me know in the comments below, I would love to read your thoughts. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe. We've got plenty of exciting stuff coming out this year, and we'd love to have you along for the ride. In the meantime, you can always visit UpsideDownShark.com to keep up with everything we've got going on, check out our movie and music YouTube channels, and finally, my name is Tom, this has been UDS, and we'll see you next time.